Hi, I'm Teddy Burriss, your LinkedIn and your sales navigator, strategist, trainer, and coach. And I got asked this question a few minutes ago. Why does LinkedIn want to have access to our Google account? I'm going to show you what that's all about. I'm going to give you my recommendations for setting up and accessing your LinkedIn account in this video. But before I do, hit that subscribe button because I create all of this content specifically for you. So if I go to log into LinkedIn, I'm going to do this in an incognito window. You'll notice that if I go to join now, it says I can put in my email address or I can use continue with Google. Now what is this? LinkedIn, like lots of other websites out there, have the ability to use what's called single sign-on, SSO, single sign-on. So if you're logged into your Google account, and I've seen this work with Facebook accounts as well, if you're logged into your Google or Facebook account, then LinkedIn, in this case, will allow you to use that account information to be able to access or create and then access a new LinkedIn account. Now, that's all well and good, and it works great. But let me share with you some ideas that are really, really important so you don't make a big mistake accessing your LinkedIn account. Number one, I recommend that you use an email address. And that just happens to be a Google email address, but don't use a single sign-on. Just use your email address and then use a unique password for this account. Now, why do I recommend that? Well, because if someone is able to hack your Google account, then they automatically have access to your LinkedIn account because you're using single sign-on, and so you don't need to have another password. I want a different password for my LinkedIn account. Here's the next thing I recommend. The next thing I recommend is this, and that is for you to use two-step authentication. So I go to sign in and privacy. You'll see that not only do I have 6 email addresses associated with my account, some of them are old email addresses, 2 of them are very purposely created by me, my business email account and my personal Gmail account. Now, why do I have that? If I have problems with one of my accounts, I can use the other email account to log into LinkedIn. You can log into LinkedIn with any, in this case, of my 6 email addresses and then my password. But additionally, I have two-step authentication turned on, so I have to authenticate if I log into my LinkedIn account. I have to authenticate it, and I use the Authenticator app that's on my cell phone to be able to do that. Now, while I'm looking at this, I will also share with you, I'm not going to show it to you, but I would also suggest that you capture the recovery codes. So in the event you can't get to the Authenticator app, then you have these recovery codes. So there's 5 codes in there, so 5 different times you can log into LinkedIn on different devices using those recovery codes until you get your authentication app set up. By the way, another little tip is when I have recovery codes for accounts such as LinkedIn and Facebook and my bank account and my finances, all those other things, I'm a LastPass user. So I manage my LastPass account. I put all logins in there with the email address or the username and the password. And in those entries in LastPass, I also put those recovery codes. So I have one place to go get the email address or username, the password, and the recovery codes in the event I need them. Now let me talk about a few other things that are important for you to do as well. A couple other suggestions. Number one is, if you are going to use two-step authentication on the Auth app, then protect the cell phone because it's like a huge key and you don't want to lose this key. And you also don't want to throw this key away and get another one. So for example, if you're going to update your cell phone, you want to get a new one and you have the Authenticator app on here, you need to plan that transition. So you get the Authenticator off of this device and you put that Authenticator app on another device. And it's not just as easy as download and reinstall. You have to validate that transition. So understand how to do that with the Authenticator app so that when you do need to do that or you want to do that, you understand how to do it. Additionally, some other security issues I recommend for LinkedIn and any other app is never, ever let anyone log into your LinkedIn app on any device, ever. You want to protect that login information. You also want to protect, no matter how you're using your Google account, you want to protect that as well. So I would suggest that you never let anybody log in using your Google account. You turn on two-step authentication on your Google account. You have a backup email address on your Google account, and you have a cell phone number associated with your Google account. That way, if you forget your password, lose the Authenticator app, there's other ways for you to get back into not only your LinkedIn account, but your Google account. I personally am not a fan of single-step authentication or single-step sign-on LinkedIn and other apps. I will use my login information, my email address, my username, my own password, and two-step authentication. For me, it seems safer. Maybe I'm missing something and I'll learn about it over time, but today that is my recommendation. I'm Teddy Burriss, your LinkedIn and Sales Navigator strategist, trainer, and coach, and I hope this is helpful.